My name's Chris Gorse. I'm here with Fidelis Emuze as the Head of Department of the Built Environment at the Central University of Technology, South Africa. We're going to address some of the pressing issues on the future of construction management. Fidelis, what are the most pressing issues that you think we have to face in regards to research at the moment in construction management?
I think in regards to research, we must try and see what are the blended skills that we need. That means a mixture of technical skills that construction management practitioners will need, and soft skills, interpersonal skills, because technical skill alone in terms of planning, organizing, and use of technology can only go so far.
Yeah.
Because construction can only be done through harnessing the participation and motivation of people that are involved. And in the present day and time, the construction, there's no construction project that is undertaken without people from diverse race, diverse culture, and diverse background. Before you used to have a master mason that oversees everything. Yeah. Right now you need the input of engineers, construction managers, project managers, site agents, all sorts of skills that are required in order to do one thing, satisfy the client.
Okay. So we were recently at the conference, at the RCOM conference, where Alan Penn started talking about the way he thought that the research was moving. And he did point that some of the research councils are moving slightly away from multidisciplinary to a single distinct focus on research. How do you think that, what problems might that cause, or how will that help construction management research?
It's two sides of a coin in terms of construction management research at its where it is not domain specific.
Yeah.
We draw from social science, from engineering. In some contexts you call it applied technology.
Yeah.
But what we can actually focus is the impact of what our research is about. For instance, if you, instead of engaging in abstract research, you want to really address a specific needs. For instance, you need to modify behavior of users of a building. You probably look at technology that you need, sensors that can be used in that sense. Mm-hmm. So you can really say, in a domain like built environment, for instance, we need to focus on what actually goes into the process, and how do we relate with, how do occupants relate with the building when it's already in use. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think it's about impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
What impact do our research have? Meaning we probably move towards applied research than blue sky research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's very important that we push forward the expertise in construction management in research, so we do develop some of the pure sciences and ensure that the technology and the science moves forward in a strong way, so some of the multidisciplinary research projects can tend to water that down. However, when, as you've said, we have multidisciplinary construction teams, I think personally is, once we've got very distinct disciplines, what we've got to be very careful of is that we do address the social needs of a construction project. So we know, and we've known for a long time, that engineers and scientists might be very good at their research, but sometimes have some challenges when they're trying to communicate some of their results. So when we're putting together teams, we've obviously got to be very aware of the behavioural needs, and the way that people are encouraged to share their findings, and to the importance of actually trying to understand the findings and the implications. So construction education becomes far more important if we're starting to develop very distinct disciplines. And obviously I don't think we should go too far and water down some of the multidisciplinary research that we have, which is very good in trying to address some of the socio and technical boundaries that we face. Your sort of department's very involved in lean construction. what elements of lean construction do you think we'll see in the next few years? What are the key attributes of lean construction, and what will we see in terms of changes over the next few years?
Yeah. Lean construction have got many models, but I think the waste elimination model will actually come through in the next few years. Waste in the sense that you have physical waste, you have process waste. When you are involved in a design process, either architectural design or structural design process, there are a set of activities that you undertake that are not necessarily adding value to the client. And I think in the next few years, or even right now, we should look at the client, in quote, as the person paying and the people that will be using the facility. So what are the expectations? So in effect, in construction and in design, we need to drive up what we don't really need to do. Like, let's take for instance, we know in the construction process, rework is a big issue. There have been so many work done concerning rework. But yet, we deal with issues like that, especially in design. You have to have maybe 20 revisions of a design before a job is done on site. Those are things that have to be weeded out after the process. So in terms of lean, I think it's about looking at the value stream, looking at the entire process involved in a particular project, and ensuring that you concentrate more on conversion activities. That means what we do that actually transform our information. Lean construction management at its way, to me, is about managing the information and the material that is needed.
Okay. We've seen a change, and the industry is still very focused in engineered-based construction or prefabricated construction methods. How do you think that will roll out in the future as against bespoke construction, and how will that help address the skills gap?
I think we might want to look at it from context. You know, in some particular countries, off-site manufacturing and all that might be able to really help standardize the process. Okay, but in some countries where you don't have the resources to go through off-site, a lot of work will still be done on-site.
Yeah. So
the essence is to limit variability in what we really do, so that the output consistently is correct. It meets all expectations.
We're seeing in the UK a lot of engineered construction and architectural forms that are making use of prefabrication being used to address some of the more demanding sides of the building industry, so some of the low carbon and high energy efficient buildings, and we're seeing demonstration projects and prototypes, and there are some companies that are starting to roll out some sizable projects. We're also see some of the research that's been undertaken is using standard off-the-shelf products for retrofit, and I think that's quite important. And as long as we avoid unintended consequences, because we know that when we're addressing different building types, not all solutions work.
It works, yeah.
I think we'll end there for this session, but thank you for your thoughts and on the future of the construction management, and we'll have another chat.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.